A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, nerds raged, viewers dropped off, and reviews were actually not bad. And to anyone who's used to my media reviews may be expecting me to dump all over this. But honestly, I liked Ahsoka, and I depart with most YouTube reviewers on it. Trust me, I'll explain. I'm Troy from Marks on TV, and today we're reviewing Ahsoka on Disney+. Now, on with the story. This is your heads up that I am going to be giving some spoilers in this review. You have been warned. I'm not going to give a rundown of every single beat of the plot, but I am going to give some wide brushstrokes and a few specific details and tell you what I liked and didn't like. This show takes place between episodes 6 and 7, where The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett take place. Ahsoka Tano is searching for some mystical space orb thing that will show a star map. Ahsoka believes that Grand Admiral Thrawn is still alive, and he's the big baddie of this whole thing. She's afraid that he's mounting a return to their galaxy to raise the Empire up again. She's also looking for Ezra Bridger, who is a character from Rebels, which I've never watched, and sacrificed himself, I guess, to either die or get lost in space. Many of the characters in this show believe that Ezra is still alive, but in another galaxy, so they want to find him. Keep in mind, it's been years and years since they've last seen him. Either way, Ahsoka is being chased by two Sith mercenaries named Baylan Skoll, who's a former Jedi, and his apprentice, Shin Hati. They want that orb. They break Morgan Elsbeth out of prison. She's like a space witch, I guess, called a Night Sister. Ahsoka meets with General Hera Syndulla. We all know that she's a general because she tells us every single time we see her on screen. Ahsoka also gets help from Sabine Wren, who is her former Padawan, but they had a falling out after Ahsoka felt that Sabine would try to use her place as a Jedi to avenge the fall of Mandalore because she's a Mandalorian. Also, Hera and Sabine are characters from Rebels, but again, I've never seen it. The mercenaries track down Ahsoka and company, and Shin Hati puts a lightsaber through the gut of Sabine Wren. It's okay though, they patch her right up good as new. Ugh. But the mercenaries got the space ball. Sabine and Ahsoka then make nice and decide to go after the star map together with David Tennant droid. Even as a droid, David Tennant steals this whole damn show. He's not even physically there, but he's one of the two best male characters on this show, and that's damning with faint praise. Through the first few episodes, General Hera Syndulla keeps telling the New Republic that, hey, you know about Moff Gideon, you've now got evidence of these two Sith mercenaries. Some old Empire loyalists were stealing equipment and doing unauthorized things with it. We've all heard through the grapevine that Grand Admiral Thrawn is maybe planning a comeback. Maybe we could take this stuff seriously to prevent tyranny and oppression from sweeping the galaxy again. But all the stupid men go,
what, that guy? What, do you think he's got malicious intent? Are you reading bad signals? No, he's not that kind of guy. He's a good guy.
Meanwhile, good lady boss Mon Mothma isn't so sure, but she goes along with it anyway. Skipping around a bit, Ahsoka, Sabine, the mercenaries, and other bad guys all battle around a bit on some planet and buy time with evil witch lady getting the location for Thrawn. Ahsoka is bested by Baylan Skoll, and Sabine ends up giving the baddies the space ball as long as they agree to take her with them to find Ezra. Lucky for Ahsoka, Jedi can survive for like 2 days in the water, I guess. Not conscious. She's sensed by the child of Hera Syndulla, General Hera Syndulla, who is the son of a Jedi, and they pick her up. Episode 5 is honestly my favorite episode of the series because we get a lot of interactions between Ahsoka and the memory of Anakin Skywalker. I guess. I'm not really sure. They don't explain very well.
I'm extremely confused.
But we walk around a lot through Ahsoka's past, and she gets to think about things a bit more that Anakin taught her. There were some really cool shots and some good CGI. Hayden Christensen got to show off his lightsaber skills yet again. All good stuff. Plus, you get to see a bit of how Anakin was as a master and a teacher. It hits you a bit more in the feels, thinking about what could have been if he hadn't went to the dark side. I'll touch on that more in my wrap-up at the end. Either way, Ahsoka uses the Force to communicate with some freaking space whales and travel in one's mouth. You know, Jonah from the Bible style.
What the hell is even that?
I guess they travel at warp speed, and she's hoping that they fly to the galaxy where Sabine went.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
She got lucky, and they did. But by now, Thrawn and his jinky stormtroopers are loading up and preparing with the Night Sisters for an impending attack from Ahsoka. One critique I agree with is that every move Thrawn makes is supposed to be some genius strategy, but it all keeps failing. And when he has opportunities to just shove an entire boot up the enemy's ass, he instead goes for just the pinky toe.
Not a great plan.
I don't get it. Either way, on this planet, Sabine is let loose per her agreement and finds Ezra living with some snail people. Ahsoka finds them and they head back for Thrawn, run into the Sith mercenaries again, and basically fight to a stalemate. They blow through a battalion of stormtroopers, only for the Night Sisters to bring them back to life and attack again. So now, in Star Wars, we've got witches and zombies.
I have several questions.
You know what? I'm okay with it. Ahsoka and the evil witch lady, Morgan Elsbeth, have an awesome showdown throughout the witch tower thingy. Thrawn starts flying away, Sabine is finally able to use the Force, and helps Ezra fly up onto the Star Destroyer that's taking off by boosting him with her newly found Force abilities. But instead of following him, she leaves his ass to go help Ahsoka. Like, come on, dude. Either way, Thrawn uses the Eye of Sion. Yes, that's what it's called.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
To hyperjump his way back to the Star Wars galaxy. Clearly, the Eye of Sion sounds like the Eye of Sauron, and the thing looks like the Halo from, Halo. But getting back to this, at the end of the series, Ahsoka, Sabine, and the Sith mercenaries are all now stranded on this crap planet. Ezra manages to pilot his way to a New Republic ship dressed as a stormtrooper and hugs it out with Hera Syndulla. Excuse me, General Hera Syndulla. And that's the end of the show. To go through things that I hated first, just to clear that out of the way, I don't know what it was, but I just could not have given a damn less about the first 2 episodes. It's not that nothing happened, but it moved at a glacially slow pace, and there was tons of standing around, Ahsoka crossing her arms, and tons of talking. It was very hard to stay invested. I dropped in a couple of plot issues that I had with this while giving my review. Those issues are the space whales going exactly where the plot needed them to go with little explanation. What the hell was that place that Ahsoka went to when she was thrown off a damn cliff by Balin's skull? How the hell did she survive for 2 damn days while floating in the water? Don't you dare say because the Force, or I will punch you in the throat. Who the hell was that third mercenary thing with a computerized sounding voice and a turned out to be freaking smoke inside of an empty suit? And why was Thrawn so bad at being a military strategist? Unless he was just like rusty or something after a decade of exile. I don't know. Also, while on the topic of Thrawn and the return of the Empire, why is the New Republic so damn stupid? Throughout The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and now with Ahsoka, they're just so damn dumb. No wonder they were easily overthrown again and the Empire comes back. Or, excuse me, the First Order. Which is totally different, by the way.
I don't believe you.
Here's a spoiler for Season 3 of The Mandalorian, but some former Empire scientist wants to use the clone technology to help the New Republic. They say no. Another former Empire lady, person, whatever, says that she'll help him, and then turns him over to the New Republic so that he can get his mind wiped. They put it on low so that he basically just forgets the time when he was with the Empire, but the dumbass New Republic scientists and guards leave the other woman alone with the machine, and she cranks it to full blast and completely fries the guy's brain.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Now, we've got the incompetence of the New Republic allowing the return of the Empire right in front of them, and they just shrug. At least that's consistency. This isn't so much an issue I have with Ahsoka as it is with Disney Star Wars as a whole. Either way. I didn't have as much of a problem with Sabine Wren as others did. I didn't like her, but I didn't hate her. However, she did show 0 signs of Force abilities until literally the final episode, and that was kinda stupid, but I'm gonna chalk this one up to she's been practicing and finally was put in a position where if she didn't use the Force, she was literally going to die. I don't know, it sounds good to me.
One of the dumbest statements of all time.
But when she literally used the Force once to grab a lightsaber, then she tells Ezra, sure, go for a gigantic jump that you can't possibly make on your own, and me, with my newly learned Force abilities, will just shove your ass up the rest of the way. I mean, either that or you die, but I'm willing to roll them dice.
Oh, come on!
That was really dumb. The other issue I had with her was when she first saw Ezra. They hadn't seen each other in years and years. She compromised the fate of the entire galaxy and traveled forever to finally find him. And when they do finally see each other, they make a few snarky remarks, exchange smiles, and give a, "Hey, how are you?" kind of hug.
What? What the fuck?
I really don't know what to say here. It's just dumb. My wife kept asking me throughout the series,
why is Ahsoka keeping Sabine on as a Padawan? She sucks!
and I kept telling her Ahsoka sees potential in her, and then my wife would consistently point to scenes where Sabine was doing or saying something stupid or getting her ass kicked and say,
Look, she sucks!
hard to argue. Besides that stupid, risky force jump and the crappy greeting with Sabine, Ezra Bridger also annoyed the crap out of me because there's a fight with the local tribe on the planet and the Sith mercenaries that takes place where Sabine tries to give Ezra his lightsaber back. She's going to just use her blaster in the battle. Ezra says, "Nah, I'm gonna just use the Force."
Why? 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 Why?
You know, those Sith mercenaries are also Force users, and they have lightsabers. What a moron.
No! It's just dumb.
Then, at the end, he's able to sneak off, dressed as a stormtrooper, and pilot a small ship away without anyone on that Star Destroyer noticing? Okay, sure, I'll chalk it up to bad tech, because that ship had been sitting there forever.
Sure, Jan.
But then, why did he keep the Stormtrooper outfit on the entire time, to the point of where the New Republic damn near shot him to death? Ugh. You can also tell that they made this show 1 part for Star Wars fans, and 4 parts for girls who have no damn interest, or just a passing interest in Star Wars. You want a girl boss? Here's a girl boss Jedi. She's got a girl boss Padawan, and there's a girl boss general, and a girl boss politician lady, and some girl boss witches, and there's a girl boss Sith apprentice. And is that male politician getting a little too lippy? Well, we've got word from girl boss Leia Organa that he can shut his damn dirty mouth. They're just girl bossing all over the place. I don't normally give a crap about this stuff, but damn, they were beating you over the head with it. The men in this show were relatively useless, dumb, or evil. Even Ezra was just kind of there. Oddly enough, David Tennant droid was the most useful guy in the entire show, besides maybe Balon Skull. My last criticism really is the fact that Dave Filoni dropped us into the show expecting that we'd already seen his cartoons. Dude, I've never seen Rebels. I've never seen the Clone Wars. I've never seen any of those cartoons, Star Wars shows at all, except for the Darth Maul one. Didn't realize that that was required reading before this show. They kept referencing stuff that happened in Rebels, I guess, that I had no idea about. I also had no idea who Grand Admiral Thrawn was or why I should care. I literally had to do research on this TV character to figure out why Stregobor from The Witcher was blue with red eyes now. I know this sounds like I'm crapping all over it, but I really did enjoy the show. I liked most of the lightsaber battles. I will say that Rosario Dawson was kind of mid with them, but still. The pace picked up by episode 3. Ahsoka switched back and forth between being a generic, emotionless Jedi character to being a pretty interesting person that I'd like to learn more about. Balon Skull and Shin Hati were interesting, and I really wish I had more backstory on them. There was some exposition here and there about Balon turning from the Jedi and joining the Empire because he stopped believing in the mission of the Jedi Order. I have no clue on how or why he picked up Shin Hati, but the late great Ray Stevenson brought a lot of gravitas to this role of Balon, and I really enjoyed every moment that he was on screen. I enjoyed seeing the Night Sisters as well, portrayed in live action. Having not watched any of the cartoons or read any of the extended universe books, I've only ever seen them in Jedi Fallen Order, and again in that Darth Maul movie that I watched. I feel like they were really given a good live action debut, and I'm sure that they'll be fleshed out and utilized more in the future. They're definitely creepy. Finally, the insertion of Anakin felt pretty good to me because, as I mentioned earlier, it fleshed out some things that episodes 1 through 3 didn't really have time to touch on. It really gave you the feeling that he had a lot more character to him, and it was a great tragedy when this good man that people actually loved and cared about fell to the dark side.
Snap out of it!
But comment down below, what did you think of Ahsoka? Are you looking forward to Season 2? Do you think the criticisms hold weight, or no? Are you just completely done with Star Wars, or does this bring you a new hope? I'll see myself out, but let me know down in the comment section. Also, please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell to be notified every time we post brand new content. I'm Troy from Marks on TV, and we'll see you next time.